live today because I wanted to see if anybody came on. I wanted to talk about Nathan and Lulu. Um, but I just wait for a couple people to come. I'm sitting here underneath a sweater that I'm using as a blanket because it's so comfortable. And it's Tuesday and it's dark already at 5:45. I don't know if anybody else is ready for it to finally be, I don't know, daylight savings. We're gonna lose that hour, but I'm gonna really love getting later sunlight. So anyway, gonna love that. Wanted to, like I said, come on and talk. I'm gonna do these, but I also got us a TikTok. So if you are on TikTok, follow Sunday Shift. Just something to try. And I might do some lives over there. But for right now, I'm gonna do it here. So let's talk Nulu. Let's talk Nathan and Lulu. Um, as you know, I've never actually been a Lulu girl. And at first, my like Nathan and Lulu, I was like pushing it on some like Spixie agenda shipping. Because I was like, okay, if we can get Nathan and Lulu together, that might mean that Maxie will never go back to Nathan, meaning she can stay with Spinelli. And I am through and through a Spixie girly. So anyway, I was really excited for that. And somewhere along the way, I don't know what happened to me. I started to like Nathan and Lulu. So it's clear to me that like Nathan is not Nathan. Now, who knows? We know what GH is like. They might change it up and say this is Nathan. But just like so many things have like pointed to him being somebody else that's not Nathan. That said, him and Alexa Havens have really good chemistry, and I'm liking it. What do y'all think? Y'all liking it? Tell me, like, talk back if you so choose. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. Um, I've also never been a latte girl, so just like all transparency, I know it's a soap, and we all pick and choose, right? So I have never forgiven Lulu and Dante for Michael. I just haven't. Um, I started liking. I've always liked Dom, obviously, amazing. But I've never Dante. I started liking during Sante. So it Dante like came to me for Sante. I was like, yeah, let's go, and have remained loving him because Dom is so lovable. But Lante was never my thing. Um, I felt like Julie and Dom had chemistry, so that first version of Lante had chemistry. But if you remember OG Lante, what was like really like annoying to me about the whole Lulu thing is that they did this thing where everybody wanted Lulu. And it was like literally every single person was like, "What? Like, I'm in love with this girl," and I never got down with that. I actually think and this is a video for another time. That's what they were trying to do with Jocelyn. Now, no Jocelyn slander, y'all know I love Jocelyn, but I think that that's what they were trying to do with her back in the day. Like, you remember when it was like Dev liked her, and then Cam liked her, and blah blah blah. I think they were trying to do like a Lulu thing with her, and they saw nobody like that, and that's how she ended up being with Cam, and Trina ended up being with Spencer because that's where the chemistry was. That's where the better story was. I argue that people wouldn't have liked Spencer with Joss. Trina was like who Spencer needed for him to be like that level of spoiled. Trina like brought him down to earth. I see you in the comments. Yes, Nulu has great chemistry. I'm gonna get there. Thank you for talking back. And am I gonna watch the State of the Union tonight? Absolutely not. I will not be giving that man any of my time. And thankfully, for people who do clips, if there's anything I miss, I can watch it there. So anyway, I just had never really been into them. And then just like unfairly to Alexa's Lulu, I was like really annoyed about losing Sam. I think the show did a disservice to uh Lulu and like new Lulu by having her kind of wake up at the same time Sam got buried. It felt to me as like a Sam stan, like kind of disrespectful. So Lulu had a lot of ground to make up for me with like Hi, Grace. Oh, a Buffalo Bills fan. I've heard about y'all. But shout out to Grace. Um, but yeah, so like I have never really particularly cared for her, and then she comes back, and I didn't particularly care for the way she came back. I liked her with Dom. I think that Alexa and Dom have really great chemistry, and then Alexa kind of started winning me over. I'm not a Lulu fan, but I am a fan of like what Alexa has done with this character. If you think about it, like we know her well. If you watch soaps, like I knew her as Babe Carrie, hated Babe all day. And so for her to be able to kind of overcome the character that I knew her as, and then like make this character who I've never really particularly liked her own, I think is like very like a lot of talent. So I didn't think that we were even going to have this kind of issue. I thought eventually they were going to just put her back with Dante, and we are seeing that that's not happening. So new AI Nathan comes on. I'm already side eyeing. I already don't know what's going to happen, and I'm already irritated because we don't really get to see Spinelli. They don't use him, and Spixie is like my ship. So it just annoyed me anyway. And as Nathan and Lulu started getting closer, I was like, wait a second, is this chemistry? Like, what's happening here? And now they're together. And I saw people talking about it. So, okay, for me, I am um I'm a person who has never forgave Kelly Taylor for what she did to Brenda. That's like how hard I like hold on to grudges. Yes, okay, well, I agree. She is much better as Lulu. She was good as Babe. I just hated Babe. But anyway, so I never let go of my grudge, like my 90210 grudge on Kelly Taylor. I was like, I can't believe you got with this girl, man, while she was overseas and you lied to her. You supposed to be her best friend. I thought, I've always been about that kind of homie code, but I don't see it that simple with Lulu and Maxie and Nathan. I actually, shockingly for me, because I like to complain, I thought this has been really well written. I think the relationships are there. I think the chemistry is there. I think the tension is there. I think the proper amount of angst and longing and all of that. I also love like this trope. I love a forbidden love trope. And so yeah, it's really bizarre to be in a place to really be liking Lulu and Nathan. I don't know, y'all. I like it, and I don't think I think it is complicated. I do not think that Lulu is like some kind of terrible friend for getting with or like even having friends with or feelings for Nathan. Because if you really think about it, they kissed and then they stopped. They haven't done anything else yet. So she is not in a place where she's done something quite yet. So I don't know. I'm bothered that Maxie was the love of Nathan's life, and suddenly he has feelings for Lulu. Pamela, I agree that I think that that's weird because part of it is that Nathan for Maxie, she does have this distance of like what 7 8 years. For Nathan, he's not supposed to have that distance. He literally was supposed to have woken up and not and like been back in love with Maxie the same way he was before he died. So I do find that to be a little weird. I think just like personally and transparently, if I was a Naxi fan and not a Spixie fan, I would have more issues with it. But I understand why people who were fans of Nathan and Lulu are like, what? Or I'm sorry, Nathan and Maxie are like, what the heck is this? That's not really my truth because that was never me. I liked them together. I thought they were like pretty together, but when it came to like who I saw as the love of Maxie's life and her soulmate, I always saw it as Spinelli. So much so that I've told y'all this many times. Like, I was a Days watcher my whole life. Like I grew up watching Days, and I was like a Shell fan. That was like the couple when I was in high school. So I kind of grew up with that couple. And when they bought over I was gonna say Brandon Beam. Remember that's the new Sean, but they brought over Jason Cook as Matt Hunter. I was like ready to ship that, and I didn't think that the chemistry translated, and I still really liked Spixie. So I do, like I said, understand that if you're a Nathan and Maxie fan, if that was a ship that you enjoyed, this is a little jarring. Um, but I also think that it's like very interesting, like conflict, because it's the kind of conflict for me personally that doesn't make me hate anyone. Um, Oh, what's that? Oh, I can't. It's asking me if I want to add a sticker. I don't. I don't know what that means. But anyway, it is. It's not the kind of drama that makes me hate anyone, because I was the kind of person, I didn't like what Lulu did to Brooklyn. I was upset about like the whole. She exposed Gio as being her son, and she was doing all that. I didn't care for that. Um, it's very surprising for me to like a Lulu ship. Um, Makes me wonder if he's really Nathan. It makes me wonder if he's Nathan too. And we talked about this before. It's GH. Sometimes you kind of don't know what to expect because you don't know what's on purpose and what's not. So there's no way that Nathan should have like his grave back. They said they exhumed his body. So if you exhumed his body, why did you like leave? Why did you like rebury it? Like it looks as if it's been buried this whole time. If you exhumed his body, when did you do it? Because the ground is frozen, babe. So what are we doing? So I don't know. We'll see. The other couple I wanted to talk about was Sunny and Justine Turner. So I saw an interview that Mo really likes this couple. I'm so sorry. I do not. I don't like it. I don't particularly see the chemistry between the two of them. I do see the banter. I see them being fun. I see them as like friends. It's not like an actor chemistry, but I don't see the romantic chemistry between Sunny and Justine. It's not there for me. And I also kind of don't need Sunny with another Brenda bod. This is like another dark brown haired woman on the wrong side of the law. That's funny that I just said that. He's on the opposite side of the law. Sonny should be on the quote wrong side of the law, but the opposite side of the law to him. And I, oh, Nikisha, that's a really good point. Real Nathan would be calling Faison wouldn't be calling Faison his father. Mm. Okay, so here's my question for you. Do you think that this fake Nathan, AI Nathan, has a order to get close to Lulu, or do you think whoever this Nathan is, whatever this Nathan is doing this with Lulu because he actually likes her? So like, did he come from the WSB and they were like, get close to Lulu for X reason, like some Spencer stuff, or is it something that really happened? That's my question. And then girl, Chase was a total A today. Such an idiot. I hope some of what Brooklyn said sinks in. How can he logically think Michael would easily turn over his keys during a search? Okay, so here's the thing. Let's talk about this. The key shouldn't even work because Mike, like, it shouldn't be like the same key. Drew changed his locks after he was shot. So whatever key is on Michael's thing, if it fits the lock now, then it actually shouldn't matter because it wouldn't have been the key to get in the house in the first place. So I don't know if that's going to be something that comes back. I've also been really looking forward to somebody bringing back to Chase that this is exactly what he did with Nell. And actually, I want to back up. It's not even exactly what he did with Nell because Nell manipulated Chase. With Willow, Chase is like ruining his life of his own volition. Willow really hasn't asked him to do much, he has volunteered to do it. So I'm glad. I liked that they had Brooklyn say to him, "You're my husband. I will defend you right now. But what you did was foul, and I got questions." And that I actually am a fan of because I get it. If you want to stand by your man in public, if you want to say, "This is my husband, I'm going to defend him in public," that's one thing. But I wanted to know that she had some like backbone behind closed doors. And so she looked annoyed with him. She looked upset with him. She wasn't just like a go along to get along. And I think that's really important for the character of Brooklyn. And It's also it's really funny that Michael is now the litmus test for how people feel about other characters. I think it was really important that Dante told Michael before that part of what I don't like is that Willow gets this presumption of innocence from everyone. Willow gets this like, aside from like the DA, all these people, everybody's like, she needs these kids back. She deserves these kids. So that just means that what she did to Daisy was a throwaway. Okay. People aren't doing that for Michael. People are kind of looking at Michael like, well, if you did it, it's okay, or if you did it, we'll like defend you or protect you. But nothing in Michael's history has shown us that he would like just willy nilly shoot somebody in the back twice. That's not who Michael has ever been. Michael, even if you think about the revenge that Michael has exacted before, when he was mad at Nina, he took her to court. When he was mad at Sonny, he tried to take him down. He tried to take him down through court. He tried to go the legal route. He did try to like shoot Sonny that one time. That's so funny. He only did it once, but he tried to shoot Sonny that one time when it came to when he found out about what he did to AJ. But the crime of like that, it Drew wasn't in the heat of the moment at the time when it happened. So it's kind of to me just never showed or never made sense that anybody would think that Michael would shoot him. Um, but yeah, I agree. Brooklyn was great today. Hold on, let me see. I think it's a mixture of a repeat of what happened with Nell blending into Willow and his revenge against Michael from the affair and his marriage to Willow. Jeff, you called it absolutely. That is, and I appreciated Brooklyn asking him and saying today, "Oh, you trying to get even?" And I thought she was gonna say, "You're trying to get even from the affair," but she said, for whatever, like you thinking Willow's guilty. Chase and Michael were never able to like come back together as friends for real after the affair. Chase was calling Dante his best friend after he had been so close to Michael. They never were able to get their friendship back. Yet he was able to get that friendship back with Willow. And I can understand why Chase was mad in the moment, but once he married Brooklyn, I really thought that the whole thing with Bailey Lou would bring Chase and Michael's friendship back together. I think that their friendship was good for both of their characters. So I thought that he would understand because I never was a person who was like, Willow and Michael are so evil for what they did to Chase. I think that what happened with like Milo versus Chillo was really complicated. I think, they thought he was about to die. They didn't know what to do. They fell in love because of some lies that were told. They didn't try to. It happened because of like forced proximity. I wasn't. I did not think they were evil. I didn't think they were. I thought it was funny that they were like, "Damn, he ain't die," but I didn't think they were just like evil people. So Chase like wanting to get revenge. If I'm Brooklyn, I'm asking, do you still have feelings for this woman? Because we have seen kind of like tinkering around the edges of it. And I know there are people who are fans of Chase and Willow who are like, oh, this means they're gonna get back together. No, babes. I think this means once Chase finds out what happened, this is actually the final nail in the coffin of Chillo. Because you cannot imagine that after all of this, Chase is gonna forgive Willow. I also think that so it's gonna come to a point where they think that Chase did this, that Chase planted these keys on Michael. And Willow knows he didn't. And so we're gonna have to watch Willow decide that she's not gonna like open and say that she did this thing. And she's gonna blame it on her kids. Yes, Boston Girl, we talked about that. The last book was changed after Drew got shot. It never made sense. I do wonder. I mean, GH just be doing stuff sometimes, so I do wonder if that's going to come up or if they just going to believe that we don't care. Because this is the same thing. Remember when they had Trina be framed by Esme over the phone that she never even touched? So Esme was handling that phone, no gloves, no nothing, and nobody like dusted the phone for Prince. It was just like, I guess it's Trina's. And Trina never thought the only place that I would have had this phone be out, because I thought was what was going to happen with that story is that they were going to check the cameras at what the the little fake jail. I thought they were going to check the cameras there because it was on camera, Esme putting her the phone in Trina's bag, and they never did that. So I feel like this is like really similar to the key thing. They just, I guess, want us to like forget it or to act like it doesn't matter. Mm. So I don't know. I hate to see Chase go down this road for Willow after she and Michael betrayed him. I hate to see Chase go down this road, particularly for Brooklyn. I am embarrassed for my girl Brooklyn. I think Chase is making a fool of her, and she doesn't deserve it. And we talked about this a few minutes ago. I think that I'm happy they finally gave her a little bit of fight, because even what he was saying to her today, and if you watch the preview for tomorrow, he's like, "Are you saying I have to decide between this or us adopting a kid?" Yeah. As a matter of fact, all of this should mean that you're done. Like, and I also want to talk about the fact that Chase is a cop who can't keep his hands to himself. If you think about the way that Chase has moved around, so Chase originally got suspended for punching Valentine over Brooklyn. Like Valentine said something crazy about Brooklyn. Chase punched him. Cool. We was like, all right, this is showing the like how much he cares for Brooklyn. We can let it slide, whatever. Then, if you think about the last time him and Michael got into it, not the one that happened this week, but the last time that they got into it, Chase hit Michael first. And then this week, Michael threw the keys. He didn't hit them, or like he did not hit them. And then Chase lunged at Michael. And then Brooklyn was like yelling at Michael to get off Chase when Chase was the one who lunged at him in the first place. I agree. I want Tracy to kick Chase out. I do think it means something, and it was like a foreshadowing that when Tracy heard Chase say, you need to turn yourself in. She said to him, "If you believe that Michael is guilty, then you need to, find another family." I think this is going to come into play. Now, I do think that Brooklyn is going to stand by him, but I think it's going to cause like Quartermain drama, which is really unfortunate because I love Chase and Brooklyn, or I'm sorry, Michael and Brooklyn is like good cousins. Michael has been there for Brooklyn for everything. Even when it came to like Geo, he was the one who like called Geo and was like, Brooklyn needs you. He's vouched for her, all of that. If you remember the scene where Dante was coming at Brooklyn kind of like out of pocket about Geo, Michael didn't even know what was happening. Michael walked into the room and said, "Hold up, Dante, you're not gonna talk to her like that." This is Michael's brother that he told, "Hey, you're not about to talk to my good cousin like that." So what is going on? I don't need to know what happened. That's over. So for that to be how Michael treats Brooklyn and like really, really figuring like really, really being there for her, and then for her to kind of essentially be okay with not really be on his side with the custody thing, like, oh, Willow deserves the kids, and also be like, I don't know if he shot Drew. I'm not really a fan of that, and I think it just is going to make her look terrible in the end. Do you think Chase could end up gone, leave the show? I've heard that. I don't think so. I think Chase is a quarter main. I think Chase and Brooklyn are solid. I heard there was a rumor he was leaving, but I don't think that's true. I haven't really heard that. I think maybe somebody said it and then it just like kind of blew up into like something bigger. I don't think Chase is leaving. He might leave for a little bit because doesn't his wife have a baby on the way? Maybe I made that up. I don't know. Sorry if I did. I didn't. I can't fact check because I'm on live. But yeah, I think Shaylin is solid. I don't think that he is leaving. I think this is just drama and angst for them. I don't think that they're leaving. Um, let's see. Um, so Dante and Brooke or Dante and Elizabeth. I could see it. Now, this is partial, and here's the problem. When I meet actors and I really love them, it's hard for me to like not see them. Like once I really get to love an actor or like the personality of an actor, like when I see them on screen, it like melts me a little bit. So y'all know I went to the uh sorry, I got distracted by something. But anyway, y'all know I went to the fan club weekend last week and or last year. Y'all, my brain is fried and scrambled. I had 10 hours of calls today. It was wild. But anyway, I went to the fan club weekend last year and I went to the lyric event. So it was like Liz and Rick. And I was so charmed by Rick Hurst, like extremely charmed by Rick Hurst. And him and Becky have just like such a natural rapport and chemistry. I really enjoy it. And so if they're gonna do lyric, like I would be interested in that. However, I would love Dante to get like, a really good pairing. I Dante is too goody goody for Liz. Yeah. Oh my God. Wouldn't that be the most self righteous couple that we've ever seen? Woo. Yeah. Oof. Okay. This is my crack ship. Dante and Jordan. It's what I want. It's what I want. So originally I wanted Jordan. This is before the like Drillo stuff. Originally I wanted Jordan with uh Drew. Don't cancel me. Don't leave. Because I think that her and Cameron have really great chemistry. And if you ever watched like the Emmy stuff they were doing together, they just had like a really good rapport. And I thought that was going to be the drama that he had with Curtis, that like he got with his ex-wife. And then all of a sudden he started like sleeping with Nina and getting with Willow. And I was like, ooh, that's done. That's canceled. So I would be interested in like a Jordan Dante situation. Um, let's see. Rick and Sunny bonding. Yeah, I'm sorry, Nikisha. Don't cancel me. Don't cancel me. Don't cancel me. I loved Rick and Sunny bonding too. I tweeted like if you would have told 2004 me that I would have loved a Sunny Rick scene, I would have told you you were a liar. But the Rick Alexis scene, this is just the actor that Rick Hurst is. Just like a phenomenal, phenomenal actor. When his voice kind of cracked when he was telling Alexis that he didn't know if anybody would like love him or like care about him if something happened to him. Okay, don't get me misty eyed over here, Rick. All right. I get it. You're a good actor. Okay. You beat me down into liking your character. Now leave me alone. So it was really, really good. And so then to go into him and Sonny, and he's like, "Are you calling me as your lawyer?" And it was like, I mean, he did talk to him about the law, but he was really calling him as a brother. He was calling him to give him the tea. Like he was just like, I can't really talk to Jason about this. I could talk to Rick about this. And, Michael's having Wiley call Rick Uncle Rick. I just really enjoy the banter. Like I said, I like the Rick and Alexis scenes. I don't necessarily want them together, but I do love them as sparring partners and just like in scenes together, where it's just that it's like passive disdain, not active disdain, which I enjoy. Rick is just like a great addition, and he had one of the best comebacks because they didn't try to like write just like some grand comeback for him. He was just dropped in, and then he went along the way. And he dropped in, and something about Rick Hurst, as you see, I love him. He has chemistry with everyone. So he walked in, and immediately you would have thought him and Kristen Vaganos, who plays Molly, had been acting together for years. Like it was so natural between them. He walked in, still charming Elizabeth, just like he did, and we didn't really get him a lot of him and Sunny. We saw him and Sunny towards the beginning, but they kept them apart. And so now I'm just like delighted that him and Sunny are in relationship with each other. That Michael like let his guard down. I want to know what happens when Rick finds out that Willow actually shot Drew and that Alexis knew. That's what I want to see. I would hate for them to put them together only to make Rick bad again. Oh yeah, it's the same thing they did to Julian. I'm not particularly fond of the Julian actor, but I can also admit that Julexis had crazy chemistry. Like I was like, okay, Julexis, what's happening here? I could never forgive. I was like Sam when it came to Julian after he attacked Alexis. He really couldn't say nothing to me, but um I understood the chemistry. Hopefully, now that Michael can't be charged with Drew's shooting, they can now explore his relationship with Jacinda. We need to find out her story also. You know, I think that Michael and Jacinda have really great chemistry. Those actors are really good. I really like the Jacinda actress. I'm still holding out. I'm holding out hope that my girl Sasha comes back. That could be me being Delulu. Um, Part of my problem with the I was on board with the Michael just appearing at first, but just like when she was lying to him a couple times, I don't know. I just feel protective of Michael. I feel like he's been through so much. I feel like he deserves someone who is actually honest to him or honest with him. So to see Jacinda kind of play in his face after what Willow did to him, I'm not particularly interested in that. But they do have great chemistry. I'm gonna watch it. I don't hate it. I'm not mad about it. I don't fast forward it, but I do enjoy um I don't enjoy them, and I really, really hope that they bring Sasha back. I'm imagining that if they do something, if they kill Robert on screen, which I'm assuming is coming at some point, that will maybe have Sasha back for that. I know that there was like a Rory Sophia Zoom that I couldn't go to, and I heard people say that Sophia was like she's just waiting on the call and she'd come back. Um, so I'm hoping that they do that. I just want Sasha to have a happy ending. They like put her through everything. It was like, okay, you come in and you lie to Nina, then you gonna get this like bug from you remember Cassandra, and then she almost died, and then Nina put her in jail, and then Michael, she did the thing breaking up with Michael, and then she became a drug addict. Like it was just like one thing after the other. Then she gets pregnant, she loses the baby, loses her husband. Like it was just too much for me. So I would love for her to come back, be happy with Michael and their baby for a little bit. You say I love Leo, but I always laugh because Sam would talk to Dante about Leo and call him his brother, like Leo was isn't her brother too. I agree, and I also think it's weird that Ava doesn't ever talk about Leo because if you remember when Ava was talking to Jocelyn about Lucas, and she's like, "Oh well, we're blood." It was very weird. I didn't like that. I'm like, okay, so yeah, you're blood with Lucas, but why you don't ever call on Leo? Because if you remember when Leo got his autism diagnosis, um she was at the Ava was at the bar and Olivia told her and we never saw them again. Like I do remember when my little Leo was sassy with Nina, but it was just like never ever a thing. So um will Willow try something else now that the key setup flopped? I don't know when she's gonna find out the key setup flopped, but it does feel like she's really that she's very weird right now. The thing with her and Wiley was she was like jealous that Michael might take the kids to Hawaii, and Michael truly believes that Willow shot Drew. And so everything about them and that setup, Michael never was like trying to set Willow up. Michael never was like, I want you to go to jail for something you didn't do. Whereas to Willow is actually like, I'll take these kids away from their dad because I'm jealous of their relationship with their dad. I don't know. That's a lot. So I do feel like she's gonna do something crazy and Chase is gonna get caught in the middle of it. Sophia deserved the Emmy for the Liam drug story. I think there's been two times where Sophia deserved Emmy consideration and she wasn't even nominated. One was for the Liam story, and then the second one was for like your point to like when she had the breakdown, when they put her in the mental hospital and they were like drugging her, and Gladys was part of it. Both of those times, I can't believe she actually wasn't nominated. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on Lucas wanting to protect Britt? Oh, Lucas. I think Lucas, you beautiful, sweet summer child. I love Lucas and Marco's chemistry. Those actors are so good together. I really, really adore both of them. If you haven't watched, or if you don't watch James Lott's channel, you should go watch it because every Sunday he's live with Frank, his co-star. Tanya and I have been on their show a couple times. They've always just been the sweetest to us. So if you haven't watched it, go watch their channel because they open up their Friday or their Sunday show, their past Sunday, with the Lucas and Marco actors. But that feels like a wrap to me. I'm imagining. I hope they don't get rid of Marco. I like Marco, but it seems to me like the setup is that Sid Will's gonna do something crazy to try to get rid of Lucas, and then Marco's gonna get caught in the crossfire, and then Sidwell is going to be even more mad and even more out of pocket. So I think, he's, I think that, and I think Carly's probably going to have to help save the day. He's definitely going to have to eat crow. Um, and also, it looks like they're setting up that Jocelyn's not going to be in the WSB anymore. I mean, she's barely, as Tara from Port Misery says, she's a gig worker for the WSB. So I am imagining that it seems like they're going to be doing something with her that's not the WSB. Can Alexis just blackmail Willow back for the Congress seat? Good question. So there is a spoiler for Thursday or Friday or something that Alexis is like blindsided. I think that's because Sidwell has this stuff on Laura, so I think that Sidwell is going to tell Laura she has to recommend Willow, and then Alexis is going to be blindsided. I don't think Laura's going to get a chance to talk to Alexis beforehand, so we will see Alexis's reaction when Willow is like gets the Congress seat that she thought she was getting. Ooh, I like this. Okay, you said I think Carly will figure out that Drew is in trouble and will be torn. Talk about him owing Carly. Okay, here's the thing about me. I don't know how long you've been here. I was a Carly Drew shipper. Hear me out, because I know I was. It was not that many of us, crew, if you will. Um, if I remember, and if you haven't watched this, maybe I'll find the link for you. But back in the day, like way back in the day, that ABC did these crossovers. So it was like, what if like this person met this person? So I think it was like I remember it was like Tad the Cad met. Oh, I can't even remember who it was. My brain's short circuiting. I do remember Maxie met. John Paul, what was his name? Rex from One Life to Live. And so then they had this thing with Carly and Ryan Lavery. And it was so steamy and so good. And I loved their chemistry. It was Carly was still married to Jax at the time. So that's how long ago it was. And they got like caught, stuck in an elevator. Carly was like a maid in a maid's uniform because she was gonna go do whatever for Jax, and I loved it so much. And I always wanted like this, always wanted them to do something together. So when he was coming to GH, I was like, yes, let's see what we can do. I think the biggest problem, I mean, obviously there's Carly haters. There was people who hated Cameron Matheson, like just because I don't know. I'm not one of those people. I like Cameron Matheson. There were people who hated his Drew, which I do understand that they bought him in at a really weird time. Um, like Drew was such a special character because of what Billy Miller built, and so when they brought him in and he was basically like a talk show host, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. I would have actually loved if he would have just been Ryan Lavery to come in, because that's where the chemistry was. But anyway, oh, somebody put in here it was Ryan and Carly, John and Sam, because we know how long they've had those two actors have had history. Todd and Spinelli, and Sonny and Erica. Yes, yes, that's right. Um, yeah. So that is what happened. I didn't think about that at all. So, well, oh, somebody asked something about the nomination. Oh, so did Sidwell know the governor asked for Laura's views? I don't think so. Or we don't know if he knows, but Sidwell knows everything, so we'll see. But I do think that's what's going to end up happening because we know Sidwell already said to Willow that he wanted her to take the seat. So I think that's what we're going to see happen. Um, I don't know about Eden leaving. I haven't heard about it. If that's true, Ty and I are supposed to go to New York. We were in New York a few weeks ago. We were supposed to go to like a Eden and Rory event. It got canceled for weather, and it was this past weekend. Neither of us live in New York. We just happened to be there, so we got refunds because we couldn't go. They have the thing anyway, and it's snowing in New York, so they ended up being there when it was actually snowing and canceling for snow that didn't actually happen. So whatever. And I would have asked Eden then, but I have not heard any rumors about Eden leaving. Um, yes, Carly and Todd. Mm, Car Todd. I was watching a Carly playlist not too long ago and loved Car Todd. I know sometimes Roger Howard like feels the way about playing Todd, but he's just perfect in that role. He does something with that character that's so funny, but also so vulnerable and so honest. Like he is the person who can play someone who has done some of the most heinous things and still make you root for them. And I don't know, it's just something about it. So I do wish that they would also. I also wish they would bring Roger back. I think they did him wrong. That last character they had him play kind of just didn't make it. Was it Austin or something? Ugh, I don't know. I also hate the character of Franco. I hate the idea of Franco. I hate James Franco. Like I hated that. I thought that Franco and Liz had smoking chemistry. And I wish that if they would have brought Roger on and they had to kill off Todd, or like get rid of Todd like they did with the ABC soaps, like had to leave, that they would not have made him Franco. I wish they would have figured out something else to do. You said Jason and Carly is in game. It's been telegraphed for years. I mean, maybe I can't say what they'll write. They're not in game in my heart, but I hear you. Um, and then I say that because I like them as friends. I've never been a fan of them as like anything more than friends. Do you remember back in the day where it was like the hotel fire and Jason um like Jason rescued Carly or was about to rescue Carly. This is when it was Tam's Carly and they had them kiss. I was like, this is incest. I didn't like it. I've just never been a fan. And for me personally, the chemistry between Laura and Steve, it gives a sibling. It gives bestie, it gives best friend. But I know people like that couple, and who far be it from me to tell people that they can't like a couple. Um, let's see. Anything else? I think that might wrap it up, y'all. Um, I agree. The chemistry with crew wasn't the same chemistry back in the day. I did get a chance to go. Um, I did go get a chance to see crew live. I went to go see them. It was around my birthday a few years ago. We had gone to Sacramento. It was me, Sandra, who used to be on the podcast a few years ago, and then Tara from Port Misery. We rented a very big car and we drove up there. um, and I really enjoyed the time they were together. I would love if somebody said something about Valentine and Carly. I would love if Laura Wright and JPS did like an event. They did do a Zoom and I really enjoyed it. I don't know what I want to happen between them, but I do know I want them to continue to share scenes. I love they set up Michael as their son. Oh yeah, Daisy Flower. I'm not saying. Look, I don't know what these writers are gonna write. I don't even know if these writers know what they're gonna write. So it very well could be that they write Carly and Jason as Endgame. They're just not a couple that I enjoy together. But they might. Um, I like him better with Liz, but I also like Liz with Nick. So I was an old school Jay Sammer. So way back in the day when I used to be a menace, I hated Jason and Liz. I don't particularly feel any way about them anymore. Um, Maybe like just the old school hater in me would not like to see them together. um, but um, I feel like Jason and Liz and Sam and Liz or Sam and Jason were such a epic rivalry. Like just I mean epic showdowns on message boards like between these characters and yeah, like I said, I was a Jay Sammer. I was a Jay Sammer from the day that Jason and Sam met in the interrogation room. I was a Jay Sammer when Sonny moved her across the hall as his mistress. Uh, like I was all of that. So I've been in it. And then the last thing I'll talk about is how would you want them to handle Jason's break and return this summer? I want to make sure that they don't try to fake kill him. I don't want to see that happen for Danny. I also don't want to lose Danny. I do want him to lose the crush on his cousin, but I don't want to lose Danny. So I don't know if it's like going somewhere with Jake and then something maybe Jake's in danger and Jason has to go save him. I would much rather it be something for one of his children than for anything else. We do have this we do have this uh scene or whatever with Britt and Jason tomorrow with him saying, like they've been found out and they have to like figure out what's gonna happen next. So I would love if something was to happen where Jake was in danger and Jason would have to go save him. And maybe even like team up with Lucky and have to go save him. Even if it's off screen, just like knowing it happened would make me happy. So that's what I would like for him to go do that and then for him to come back because we need Jason like prioritizing his kids. All right, y'all. I yapped for over 45 minutes. Thank you so much for coming and being here. I appreciate you more than you know. You are the best for just like letting me just talk into a camera. Make sure you follow us on TikTok. Um, we are just posting like clips from the show over there. And yeah, we'll see you on Sunday. Thanks, y'all. Bye.